To you, your belief in us, where we have always endeavored to keep you and the news first, ladies and gentlemen. That is why we are proud to be your channel of choice. Thank you very, very much. And on that note, let's get on with this edition of The Right Stand. Veteran Bidri craft artist Shah Rasheed Ahmed Quadri sahab, who was conferred with the Padma Shri, had an interesting conversation with Prime Minister Narendra Modi while thanking him for the honour. As he shook hands with the Prime Minister, Shah Ahmed Quadri said he didn't think he would be awarded because the BJP was in power and the BJP was never pro-Muslims. But the PM proved him wrong. Prime Minister Narendra Modi listened to Qadri intently and just laughed, said namaste and walked on. This has now snowballed into a lot of politics, aaji-baji between the BJP and the Congress. But there is a larger message within that, ladies and gentlemen. Just listen to this entire conversation, but more importantly, along with the words, pay attention to the body language between the two. Pay attention to Amit Shah, the Home Minister, standing behind, smiling, and also what the people next to him, how they react when he makes this comment. Picture speaks 1,000 words, and we communicate 70% of our communication is through body language rather than verbal communication. That's why I'm drawing your attention to the body language of all the people around Qadri Sahab when he says this to the PM, and their own body language when they speak with each other. Do you think it is choreographed, or is this genuine, heartwarming confession, acceptance, and of course, admiration? Judge it for yourself. Have a look at it.
मैं बीदर करना जी मेरे पीरियड में 5 साल तक अप्लाई करा नहीं हुआ। उसके बाद मैं खामोश बैठ गया कि बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट कही है हमको नहीं देती, मगर आप मेरा ख्याल गलत साबित करके मेरे को चुने, उसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
आपने मेरा ख्याल गलत साबित किया is what he told the PM. You saw the reactions of the people around him and the Prime Minister's reaction. Joining now is Shah Rasheed Ahmed Quadri himself, awarded the Padma Shri at the age of 68, veteran craft artist. Qadri साहब नमस्ते, और पद्म श्री के लिए आपको बहुत मुबारक। जब आपको अवार्ड मिला तो आपको कैसा लगा?
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। ये जो अवार्ड मेरे को अनाउंस हुआ, मेरे को बहुत खुशी हुई, और ये अवार्ड की जो इत्तला मिली, मैं एकदम इमोशनल हो गया था। सारा दिन में आंसू बहाते रहा, और 2 रात तक मैं खुशी के मारे सो नहीं सका। और ये अवार्ड अनाउंस होने के बाद 26 जनवरी को नेहरू स्टेडियम में डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की तरफ से मेरा सम्मान हुआ, और वो सम्मान ऐसा वायरल हो गया कि बीजेपी के लोग 26 जनवरी को सारा दिन घर में आते रहे। ऐसा एक हफ्ते में तकरीबन 1,500 आदमी मेरा सम्मान करने के लिए मेरे घर पहुंचे।
क्या बात है। लेकिन आपने इससे पहले भी मुझे सुनने में आया बहुत सारी अर्जियां लगाई या कोशिश की, अप्लाई किया था पद्मा अवार्ड के लिए। जरा उसके बारे में बताइए, क्या हुआ था तब?
जी वो ये तो याद नहीं है मेरे को, नाम में वो फाइल रखा मैं जी। एक अंदाजे से 5 साल तक मैं, जब यूपीए गवर्नमेंट थी, 5 साल तक मैं ये अप्लाई करते रहा, और मेरे को कोई रिप्लाई नहीं आया उसका, और ना कोई रिजल्ट मिला मेरे को। अब उसके बाद बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट आई। बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट आने के बाद मैं उम्मीद छोड़ दिया कि मेरे को पद्मा अवार्ड नहीं मिलता
जी,
क्योंकि मेरा अपना ख्याल था कि ये बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट मुसलमानों को कुछ नहीं देती, मुसलमानों से नफरत करती है, मुसलमानों को कुछ भी नहीं करती, ये सोच थी मेरे दिमाग में। लेकिन मोदी जी मेरे को ये अवार्ड दे के मेरी सोच को, मेरे ख्याल को गलत साबित कर दिए। मैं उनका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ।
कादरी साहब, एक वीडियो आपका और वायरल हो रहा है अब मोदी जी के साथ। जब आप उनसे मिले और आपने उनसे कुछ कहा, तब मोदी जी ने आपसे क्या कहा?
मोदी जी तो कुछ नहीं बोले, मेरी बात सुन के खा लगा के हंस दिए। वो जो वीडियो में जो बात हुई ना, वो खा लगा के हंस पड़े वो।
पर कादरी साहब, जिसकी वजह से आपको सम्मान मिला वो बिदरी आर्ट है। इस सम्मान से बिदरी को क्या फायदा मिला है?
हाँ, बिदरी आर्ट को फायदा पहुंचा। जैसा अवार्ड अनाउंस हुआ वैसे ये बिदरी काम के सेल में इजाफा हो गया, क्योंकि कारीगर बेकार बैठे हुए थे, काम नहीं चल रहा था उनका। ये अनाउंस होते हमारा एक कारपोरेशन है, कर्नाटका स्टेट हैंडीक्राफ्ट डेवलपमेंट कारपोरेशन, जो बेंगलुरु में है, कारीगरों का सामान लेके वो बेचते हैं वो। तो तकरीबन 20 लाख का स्टॉक पड़े हुआ था उनका। मैनेजर फ़ोन करके बोले ये मेरा जैसा अवार्ड अनाउंस होते ही वो सारा सामान बिक गया और बिदर के शोरूमों में भी पूरा सामान बिक गया। इस तरीके से बिदरी वर्क को एक मदद मिली, क्या काम मिला।
क्या बात है। और जो कहते हैं कि ये सब पॉलिटिक्स है, कोरियोग्राफ्ट है, राजनीति है, कांग्रेस के कुछ नेता हैं, उन्होंने कहा चुनाव आ रहा है, ये सब पॉलिटिक्स है, आप क्या कहेंगे?
मैं तो नहीं समझता, ये बात गलत बात है ये, क्योंकि इलेक्शन डिक्लेयर करने के लिए बस एक ही दिन लगता है, जो मार्च या अप्रैल में डिक्लेयर हुआ कर्नाटक का इलेक्शन। और ये पद्म श्री अवार्ड की लिस्ट को फाइनल करने के लिए तकरीबन 6-8 महीने तो लगते हैं। बहुत पहले से, जब कर्नाटक का अवार्ड का, कर्नाटक के इलेक्शन का कुछ गुमान भी नहीं था, 6-8 महीने पहले से तैयारी करना पड़ता लिस्ट को फाइनल करने के लिए जी। ये गलत बात है प्रमोद तिवारी जी की बात।
पर वहीं 100 से ज्यादा पद्मा के अवार्डीज हैं, आप सबसे मिले, जब आपने उन सबको देखा तो आपको क्या महसूस हुआ?
उनको देख के मैं ये अंदाज़ा कायम किया कि आपके मोदी जी जो सिलेक्शन किए हैं, बहुत अच्छा सिलेक्शन किए हैं। गरीब लोगों को, किसानों को, आदिवासियों को, ऐसे लोगों को है तो अवार्ड दिए, जो पहले ऐसा कभी नहीं होता था। मेरा अपना ऐसा ख्याल है।
पर कादरी साहब, ऐसा करने से आपको क्या लगता है, क्या फायदा होगा इससे? इससे कोई भला हो रहा है समाज में लोगों का?
ये अवार्ड मिलने से एक इसको क्राफ्ट को बहुत सब मदद मिलती है। जैसा कि मैं बताया ना आपको, शोरूमों में सामान पूरा खाली हो गया, पूरा बिक गया ये होने से। ये इसकी पब्लिसिटी भी बिदरी वर्क को जानने वाले इंडिया में बहुत कम है, फॉरेन में बहुत ज्यादा लोग हैं। और जब हम एग्जीबिशन में जाते हैं तो इंडिया के लोग कम लेते हैं, फॉरेनर्स बहुत ज्यादा खरीदते हैं ये सामान। ये
पर जैसे अब ये रेयर आर्ट्स वाले चुने गए, आप जैसे और भी थे सामान्य वर्ग के लोग, लेकिन जो भारत के आर्ट्स क्राफ्ट को आगे ले जा रहे हैं, कला को ले जा रहे हैं, काम कर रहे हैं अलग अलग फील्ड्स में, ऐसे लोगों को और भी बढ़ावा देना चाहिए। ये ट्रेंड पद्मा अवार्ड्स में कंटिन्यू होना चाहिए।
फायदा क्या होगा वो तो नहीं मालूम मेरे को। और हमारे बिदरी वर्ग को तो बहुत फायदा हो रहा है भाई। अभी
जी
जो सेल एकदम ठप हो गया था, वो सेल कोविड की वजह से सेल ठप हो गया था, उसकी वजह से ये अवार्ड अनाउंस होने से ये काम को लोगों से जानना शुरू करे, बीदर को पहचानना शुरू करे। और ये अवार्ड से बीदर को एक पहचान मिली। बीदर को जो पहचान मिली है, बिदरी वर्ग से पहचान मिली है
जी। बीदर से बिदरी है और बिदरी से अब बीदर का नाम बड़ा हो रहा है, आप कह रहे हैं। क्या और भी लोग इससे जुड़ेंगे? जो सम्मान आपको मिला है इसकी वजह से क्या और भी लोग अब बिदरी वर्क की तरफ, इस क्राफ्ट की ओर और उनका रुझान होगा? आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
शायद आगे और लोग भी जुड़ेंगे। मेरा लड़का भी मैं यही काम करता है
जी,
मेरे भाई भी करते हैं काम। और मेरी जिम्मेदारी अवार्ड मिलने के बाद, ये अवार्ड मिलने के बाद मेरी जिम्मेदारी बढ़ गई, और लोगों को भी मैं काम सिखाऊंगा, नए नए पैटर्न बनाऊंगा, नए नए डिजाइन ये निकालूंगा ये काम में। ये उससे और भी सेल में इजाफा होता है। और गवर्नमेंट से मेरी एक ख्वाहिश है जी कि ये लेजर नॉन क्राफ्ट है, ये इसको मशहूर करने के लिए इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे इसकी मार्केटिंग करे तो कारीगरों का कुछ गुजारा हो सकता है जी। और एक बात है मेरी जी, मैं हर मीडिया के सामने बोलता हूँ। मैं ये जैसा हमारे कर्नाटक की बात हूँ, मैं ये टीचर्स के कुछ मुतालबात है सो गवर्नमेंट के सामने रखने के लिए टीचर्स का में एक लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली MLC है सब चुना जाता है, जो गवर्नमेंट तक बात पहुंचाता है। इसी तरीके से ये आर्टिजन्स में से भी एक MLC नॉमिनेट करे तो आर्टिजन्स के जो प्रॉब्लम्स है वो गवर्नमेंट तक पहुंचा सकता है। कुछ हमको गवर्नमेंट से मदद मिल सकती है, क्योंकि ये काम को जानने वाले कोई नहीं है, पहचानने वाले कोई नहीं है ये। हालांकि ये दुनिया में मशहूर काम है, हमारे इंडिया में मशहूर नहीं है काम।
नहीं है।
फिर और एक बात है मेरी
जी।
दिल्ली के स्कूलों में ये बिजली काम का, दिल्ली के स्कूलों के सिलेबस में ये बिजली काम के बारे में है सर, सिलेबस में है
जी।
जिससे लोगों को जान पहचान के लिए सहूलत होती है। इसी तरीके से कर्नाटक में भी हर स्कूल के सिलेबस में ये काम डाले तो ये काम कैसा होता है, क्या है, सबको इल्म होता है और इसमें सेल में भी इजाफा होता है।
बिल्कुल 100% की बात की आपने कादरी साहब, आपको बहुत बहुत मुबारक। और मैं आपको एक वादा देता हूं कि कर्नाटक के चुनाव आने वाले हैं, हम सब कर्नाटक आने वाले हैं, मैं बीदर ज़रूर आऊंगा और न्यूज़ 18 के स्टूडियोज़ में बिदरी का काम ज़रूर दिखेगा बहुत जल्दी। हमारी तरफ से मैं ये आपसे वादा करता हूं और आपसे जल्द पर्सनली आके मिलूंगा और आपके वहाँ कारीगरी को भी देखना चाहता हूं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए। थैंक यू वेरी मच। नमस्ते। सो दैट इज व्हाट recognition via the Padma Shri for craftsmen, skills and people from all across the country, the length and breadth of the country, has done or enabled or is in the process of enabling. The politics of it stems from it, ladies and gentlemen, where they said चुनाव आ रहे हैं तो आपने अवार्ड दे दिया, चुन चुन के अवार्ड दिया है, and it's all scripted. This whole movement, everything was scripted. Let's get into the face-off. Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP, is with us. George Korean, political analyst, is with us. And while our panelists or while our spokespersons and panelists are there on screen, what we will do is we'll continue to play out just that entire sequence of or Qadri Saab receiving the award and Qadri Saab's interaction with the Prime Minister, and we will ask you what the pictures convey. George Korean, which part of this actually looked choreographed or scripted to you?
Well, a very good evening to you, Anand, and to my co-panelist Sanju Verma, and to the audience. I would want to believe that this is a coincidence that the Bidri artist from Karnataka, Padma Shri Rasheed Ahmed Quadri, I want to congratulate him on your show right now. Having said that, it could be a coincidence that Karnataka Assembly elections are due in May, and it is, see, I want to make it very clear to your audience that all Padma Awards conducted during the Modi regime has been used for political illusions on social media. Having said that, these awards are nothing but to misguide the people, misguide the people with election strategy, and because BJP is very good at it, not taking away anything from BJP on that front. Previous governments have also given away awards, but they were not able to capitalize and to their advantage the way BJP is doing it right now on social media, be it on national television. For example, Adivasi Mahila taking the award without footwear, the minority. This is all examples, but the reality is the Love Jihad rallies around the nation is also a ground reality. Anand, that is what I want to get it across to your viewers.
Right, but Love Jihad is the orchestration or machinations of some. Does that equate the abilities and achievements of many? And these awards are called People's Padma. This time, if I have the information correctly, there are 106 awardees. So, how many of these 106 you believe are politically motivated? And ऐसे कौन से 100 लोग हैं और 100 जगह हैं जहां चुनाव हो रहे हैं and बीजेपी को इससे फायदा होगा? Or is it just that because it's Shah Ahmed Quadri, a Muslim gentleman from Bidar in Karnataka, that is why it is politics?
Well, Anand, I just
Sanjuji,
heard Maria Shakil. I just heard Maria Shakil also interviewing or having a conversation with the Padma Shri Award, Mr. Qadri, and he elaborated and he emphasized that many BJP leaders and BJP workers came to congratulate him.
Yeah, he said that.
And he was trying to kind of shadow down the Congress party and put the Congress party in a bad light. That
here is what
from the Congress came to congratulate him. So this.
No, here is what. Shall I tell you something more interesting? George ji, one more something more interesting. I had a conversation with him earlier in the day. So at that time he was quite busy when he said, I am a pakka Congress voter. I have never voted for the BJP. That conversation is there, that portion is there. I will try and play that out. He says, मैंने आज तक कभी बीजेपी को वोट नहीं दिया. उन्होंने मुझे पद्मश्री दिया. He said, I have never voted. I always voted for the Congress. So he is saying that people who I thought will never back me, are anti-Muslim, They have come and done something which Congress governments did not do, where he says, he's spoken to News 18 and he said, 12,000 रुपए साल का registration fee भर के 4-5 साल I continued to send. And they never even responded. Now, he also says that Padma Shri at that time never belonged to the common people. It belongs to the common people now. It is his words, not mine.
Exactly.
Not mine.
Now,
Sanju Verma.
I began my conversation by saying
Please,
this.
you spoke enough.
No, 1 minute. I'm just saying Sanju Verma, but that also doesn't take away from the fact that in January, when the Padma Awards were being decided, the BJP, like the Congress and like everybody, knew that in 6 months there is going to be elections in Karnataka.
Okay, Anand ji, now I have not heckled my co-panelist here. I'm sure he'll extend the courtesy. Pehle to I want to congratulate you and your entire team for being a trailblazer and being the dominant player across social media platforms and across television channels. Many congratulations.
Thank you very much. Humbly accept the compliments on behalf of the entire team. There's a lot of hard work that goes behind the scenes, it happens with every party and every person in the public sphere.
Yes.
So I will take these compliments to them. Thank you very much. Ji.
Thank you. आनंद जी, आपके डिबेट में आए और थोड़ी शायरी ना हो, because I just want to lighten up the mood a bit. हिंदी की कहावत है, झूठ की नाव सच के समुंदर में बहुत देर तक चल सकती नहीं. झूठ की नाव सच के समंदर में बहुत देर तक चल सकती नहीं. झूठ बोलने वालों का स्वभाव कभी बदलता नहीं. झूठ बोलने वालों का स्वभाव कभी बदलता नहीं. And this is meant for the Congress leftist ecosystem, which over the decades made the Padma Awards into something of a quid pro quo. You scratch my back and I will scratch yours. Nobody has forgotten Teesta Setalvad being given the Padma Shri in 2007. I don't think people need to be told her claim to fame was maligning Narendra Modi and nothing more and nothing less.
Ji.
Let's not forget Leela Samson, who was made the head of Sangeet Natak Academy, and her claim to fame was that she was the personal dance teacher of Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, nothing more, nothing less. And before coming to the allegation about, politicizing the Padma Awards with an eye on the Karnataka elections, I have this to say. Congress na hi baat kare about politicization of awards, then it is better, because we have not forgotten that Nehru awarded himself the Bharat Ratna in 1955. Indira Gandhi awarded herself the Bharat Ratna in 1971. And do you know something? Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel died in 1950. He got the Bharat Ratna in 1991 after 41 years. B.R. Ambedkar, he died in 1956. He got the Bharat Ratna after 34 years in 1990. इसलिए यहाँ बैठकर जब कांग्रेस के प्रवक्ता ऑफिशियल एंड अनऑफिशियल भारतीय जनता पार्टी पर लांछन लगाते हैं, I find it hilarious had it not been so tragic. Now, speaking of the Padma Awards, forget Mr. Qadri who gave that brilliant interview to Anand Narasimhan. I want to draw the attention of your viewers and my co-panelists to just in 20 seconds. Arvind Gupta, a toy maker from Kanpur, given the Padma Award because he popularized across 3,000 schools in India how toys can be made to teach young children, and all these toys were made from garbage waste. Sittava Jodatti from Karnataka, given the Padma Award 5 years back for the protection and welfare of the Devdasi community, which she has been consistently working for since the time she was 7 years and officially became a Devdasi. Bhajju Shyam from Madhya Pradesh for popularizing tribal art over the last 30-40 years. Lakshmi Kutti from Kerala for popularizing herbal medicines in Netherlands, Germany, France, etc. मुझे ये बात बताइए, has anyone till today, before they were given the Padma Awards, had anyone heard of this toy maker Arvind Gupta, of this Devdasi, Sitava Jodatti, of Bhajju Shyam, of Lakshmi Kutti? No. These are the people who have been oblivious to the larger sections of media but have been toiling on the ground and have done exceptional and distinguished service in their domain.
Along with recognition, the important aspect is that all these people, that's like a toy maker. The importance of Arvind Gupta's toy making, there are so many people who went ahead and bought these homemade toys after that. or these local made toys made out of wood. That entire village on the drive from Bengaluru to Mysore, you stop there and there are the number of cars that stop now to buy those locally made toys from the craftsmen has exponentially gone up every time, ever since this has been recognized. Some things are beyond politics. And he himself said, 20 lakh ka maal hamara 2 din mein ut gaya. And people who are sitting jobless, there is now bread in their home, work in their hands. Now imagine what impact that is, George Kurian. Who stops the Congress party from recognizing these people and winning their accolades? And if their opinion has changed, then you cannot grudge them somebody's opinion. I told you we'll play out what he said about the Congress party. He said this to me, so I can take responsibility of this comment and this question when I had spoken to him earlier in the day. Listen to what he had to say.
मैं कोई भी सियासी लोगों से ताल्लुक़ नहीं है, हालांकि मैं कांग्रेस का वोटर हूं, मैं शुरू से कांग्रेस का वोटर हूं। मैं क्यों उसको ये गैर ज़रूरी इल्ज़ाम लगूंगा, जो मेरे पे गुजरी में वही बोला मैं।
Now, मेरा कोई सियासी ताल्लुक नहीं है, बीजेपी के लोग उनके घर आए थे, वो बीजेपी के लोगों के घर नहीं गए। And he is sitting there and saying कि मैं कांग्रेस का वोटर हूं। And I didn't get it from the party I thought will back me. That's his position right now. Gentlemen and the lady, I would request you to please wait on. We have another dynamic of politics, that is the parliament session, which is concluded. I'll come back to you for that debate and that face-off in just 2 minutes. I just want to quickly apprise the viewers about what Bidri art is. We have to do that. And the next time you are in Karnataka or you find Bidri ware, make sure you get it. It's beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. It derives its name from the city of Bidar. So Bidar se Bidri or ab Bidri se Bidar. The art originated in 14th century AD, originated during the reign of the Bahmanis. Persian in origin, Indian in innovation. The craft is popular in Hyderabad as well. It's an important export handicraft of India. And he was saying it, that the world or foreigners appreciate this art more than Indians themselves. Isn't it time we change that, ladies and gentlemen? Traditionally, various flowers known as the Ashrafi ki booty leaves, wine creepers, geometric designs, human figures, stylized poppy plants with flowers, etc. are commonly found on items. It's metal work that happens largely. There is also work on porcelain that happens, China. Demand for these patterns of Persian roses, passages from the Quran in Arabic script are also in great demand. In the West, Bidri ware is also used for hookahs, pan holders and vases, but now keepsakes, bowls, earrings, trays, ornament boxes and other jewelry and showpiece items are also made from it. Bidri ware is made from cast white brass and has an 8-stage process: molding, smoothing by file, designing by chisels, engraving by chisel and hammer, pure silver inlaying, smoothing again, buffing and finally oxidizing by soil and ammonium chloride. The finished product appears black with brilliant silver inlay. Isn't it amazing? The next time you see Bidri ware, think of Shah Ahmed Quadri, think of the craftsman, think of Bidar and buy one or gift one. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Parliament showdown. Who's responsible for one of the least productive Parliament sessions during the 2 terms of the NDA?
सरकार हमेशा पॉजिटिव रहना चाहिए, रिस्पांस देना चाहिए डेमोक्रेसी में। अगर आप डेमोक्रेसी को जिंदा रखना चाहते हैं तो अपोजिशन की बात भी सुननी चाहिए।
आखिरी दिन को भी कांग्रेस और उनके साथियों ने बहुत गलत तरीके से डिस्टर्ब किया, हाउस को चलने नहीं दिया, काले कपड़े पहन करके संसद का फिर से अपमान किया। ये बहुत देश के लिए दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण अवस्था है।
The budget session of Parliament officially ended today. The session was conducted in two phases and saw many disruptions over many issues. And for the first time in many sessions, the blame was squarely on both sides of the aisle. Today, several opposition parties skipped the courtesy meet called by the Speaker and staged a Tiranga Yatra from Parliament to Vijay Chowk instead. The opposition claimed that they were not allowed to speak and raise issues in Parliament. On the other hand, the BJP blamed the opposition for ruckus and alleged insult of the Parliament. The budget session 2023. The productivity in the Lok Sabha, ladies and gentlemen, is 33%. In the Rajya Sabha or the upper house, 24%. Hours functioned. The Lok Sabha functioned for a total of 45.9 hours. Rajya Sabha 32.3 hours. Time spent on legislation in the Lok Sabha was 0.5 hours. Just half an hour. On the Rajya Sabha, zero. Price of derailing Parliament sitting so far. Money lost. 165.35 crore because 25 sittings so far were derailed. Parliament should have worked a total of 144 hours. The Parliament worked on an average 39.1 hours. That's what they worked. Hours lost 110.9 hours overall. Bills introduced 3. Bills pending 34. And this is as per the PRS site. Parliament productivity overall, if you were to see in the past, in budget session 2023, like I said, 33%, Rajya Sabha 24%. The winter session of Parliament in 2022, Lok Sabha functioned at 88%, Rajya Sabha at 94%. Monsoon session 47%, 42%. Budget session 2022, 123% and 90%. Compare this year's budget session compared to the last year's budget session. Winter of 2021, Lok Sabha was at 77% performance functioning efficiency, Rajya Sabha 43%. Monsoon session 2021, Lok Sabha 21%, Rajya Sabha 20%. That's the lowest. And the budget session 2021, 107% and 90%. This is all as per PRS. So, if the Parliament had to function, it can function, but productivity levels one of the all-time low. Sanju Verma and George Kurian. Sanju Verma, who is to blame? Responsibility of the Parliament functioning lies on the shoulders of the government. Yeah, the government fail over.
You know, Anand, let me be very clear that, on umpteen debates, it has been decided both by respected anchors like you, by co-panelists, including the likes of George Kurian, that democracy के दोनों पहिए वो तभी democracy आगे बढ़ सकती है, लोकतंत्र आगे बढ़ सकता है when the opposition and the ruling party, the ruling dispensation of the day, they work responsibly. Now the key question is that this second part of the budget session being a complete washout, who has to bear the onus? Who is going to be facing the guillotine on this? My simple logic is, you look at the pattern, be it Pegasus, be it when the Ram Mandir verdict was given, be it when demonetization happened, or be it currently the Adani issue. I want to ask the opposition one thing. You keep saying that the BJP, being the ruling party, has the responsibility, to run the parliament. Fine. If hypothetically what you say is right, fair and square, please tell me when the Supreme Court on the 3rd of March 2023 already decided that a 7-member committee has been formed which will adjudicate and look into whether there was indeed something which was not overboard in terms of the Adani matter, and the Supreme Court has said that let this committee give its verdict in terms of its investigation and findings.
Right.
Wait till then. Wait for the committee which has been formed under the aegis of Justice Abhay Sapre, who's not a wannabe. He has earlier been the Chief Justice of the Guwahati High Court and the Manipur High Court. In fact, the 7-member committee has bona fide congresses like Nandan Nilekani. It has bona fide congresses like O.P. Bhatt. It has bona fide anti-BJP people like Somasekhar Sundaresan. Why is it that you are so rattled? Adani to sirf bahana hai. निशाना ये है कि 2024 से पहले you want to run down the parliament because you have no political issue on which you can take on Narendra Modi.
You have made the charge, but then you are also admitting that the opposition has been successful in derailing parliament because there are 34 legislations pending. You should have pushed and put. So I'm just parking it there. George Kurian, please respond.
Well, Anand, let me make it very clear to your audience that the 11th session of the 17th Lok Sabha will be remembered for work not done. The parliament will lose its relevance and significance if disruptions like this continue to happen in the future as well. Having said that, the session began on the 13th and it ended today, sine die. The problem is that, the treasury benches, it is their responsibility to ensure a smooth functioning of the parliament, which they fail to work upon, and the opposition has the liberty and they have the privilege to question the government with respect to national security, be it inflation, be it other unemployment in the country, and things like that. So that is the reason why the opposition were demanding a JPC in the Adani issue, because there's a lot of national resources and national security which is at stake, because Adani.
But my point is, have you missed the woods for the trees?
Security.
George Kurian, I just want to ask you this. If there is the court monitored committee which has been set up, Supreme Court monitored committee which has been set up to look into Adani, then you demanding a JPC in Adani is it not missing the woods for the trees? You have not pushed the government on DPDP. Data privacy law, you have not pushed them on that. There are 34 legislations pending, you have not pushed them on that. You have allowed the government to get away without doing any work. If there was no Supreme Court monitored committee, your pushing for a JPC would have made sense. But if there is a Supreme Court monitored committee looking into the Adani issue, shouldn't you have cornered the government on DPDP? Isn't that important?
Exactly.
Isn't that a normal national security issue? You have allowed the government to get away without doing any work. The government can blame you. That's what's happening right now, no, George Kurian? You have not held the government accountable anywhere. You allowed them to shoot in school.
Well, Anand, ever since the Adani Hindenburg's report has come to the fore and on public domain, the Congress Party and the United Opposition have been demanding a JPC in the matter even before the Parliament budget session started. To be very
But that is
fair,
exactly
it's
what I'm
only
trying
that,
to say. Are you trying to say that a Supreme Court monitored committee is not good enough? Are you saying the Supreme Court monitored committee with panelists who are across the spectrum in terms of their leanings, and they are really wise people who understand this, who can get into the depth of this, who have formed companies worth thousands of crores? They don't have the wisdom. They don't have the wisdom.
I don't want to elaborate or
Well, that's exactly what you're trying to tell me, sir. I'm saying my expectation as a citizen of this country from the opposition is to hold the government accountable, get them to pass bills and corner them where they are trying to avoid. Haven't you allowed the government to run away without passing any bills?
May I please come in?
Yes, Sanju Verma.
Thank you. Anand, you raise a very pertinent point, and I am not somebody who minces my words. I will just say this. I am also a taxpayer, and a very honest one at that. And, forget about my political ideology. As an honest taxpayer, if I have to just use my basic common sense, there was a JPC which was formed to probe the Bofors affair in 1987. There was a JPC to probe the Harshad Mehta affair in 1992. There was a JPC to probe the Ketan Parekh scam in 2001. There was a JPC formed in 2011 to probe the Spectrum scam.
Right.
And we all know, you can go and do basic Google search. None of these JPCs yielded any results. So as a taxpayer, whether they yielded anything.
No, whether they yielded anything or not. Whether they yielded anything or not, I will hold the government responsible for wasting taxpayers' money and not pushing important legislation, and I will hold the opposition responsible in their failure to hold the government responsible on my behalf as a citizen of this country.
The opposition has failed to do its role.
Correct. So has the government, ma'am. So has the government, ma'am. So has the government in this case. Respectfully, so has the government, because the government could not let Parliament function, and somewhere the government was okay with Parliament being disrupted, because the charge on the government is that the government was not ready with important legislations that it should have passed. That's the charge. I'm going to rest it there. I'm going to leave it there until the next session of Parliament and see how many bills get passed. How many bills get passed? The government has to pass the bills. The government has the numbers in the House. The government has the responsibility to the citizens, and the opposition also has the responsibility to hold the government accountable. None of this has happened in this session. Let's hope it happens going forward. Thank you very much, Sanju Verma ji. Thank you very much, George Kurian ji. Thank you very much. Namaste. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, on the BJP's 44th Foundation Day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, while addressing BJP workers at a grand event, tore into the Congress and other opposition parties. Listen.
आज भाजपा देश में एक नए पॉलिटिकल कल्चर का भी नेतृत्व कर रही है। कांग्रेस और उनके जैसी पार्टियों का कल्चर उन पार्टियों की पहचान क्या है? ये उन्हीं के कल्चर में से पैदा हुई है। उन पार्टियों की पहचान है, पार्टी का नाम लेते ही एक ही बात दिखती है, सारी पार्टियों का दर्द देख लीजिए, परिवारवाद, वंशवाद, जातिवाद और क्षेत्रवाद का बंधक है ये सारे लोग। जबकि भाजपा का पॉलिटिकल कल्चर प्रत्येक देशवासी को साथ लेकर चलने का है।
Parivarwad versus Vikaswad. That's been the story of Prime Minister's vision for Bharat and also his challenge to all politicians, those in public life. Can you also compete on the same turf that the BJP is setting the narrative on? We're going to take a short break here on the right stand. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, it's a mega exclusive. How did this escape anybody's attention? The West Bengal detonator and the seizure case. Very 6 months down the line, 6 to 7 months down the line, in fact more. Is there something sinister brewing here? Stay with us.
We're showing our audiences 34.8, I believe, on the ticker below. Can you tell us more about what those numbers mean?
Oh, it's been incredible. I mean, over the last, like I said, 50 weeks, the dominance of CNN News 18 on any metric that you take of the BARC ratings has been so clear that I think whether it is the advertisers, whether it is the industry, whether it is just viewers who are watching, I think it's very clear to everyone that middle of the road, sober, sane, not hyperventilating news, not partisan news, there is a huge market for it. And I think that is the greatest lesson that we've all learned over the last 1 year, that you don't have to shout from the rooftops, you don't have to beat your chest, you don't have to, wag your finger, as it were, and most of all, you don't have to, put your guests in little boxes and hector them. Really, I think that is the biggest learning for all of us, that there is a huge audience out there which is validating, which is consuming this, and which is happy to partake in this kind of sober, middle of the road news delivery and style and editorial balance, if you will. So I think that has been a great learning experience for all of us. And like I said, going forward, what we are attempting to build, this converged newsroom, because news is today breaking anywhere. It's breaking on your phone. It's not necessarily breaking on television. So if we can, build an ecosystem of reporters, producers, video editors, camera persons who are platform agnostic, I think that is going to be our next big journey over the next year and the next few years. But like I said, I'm happy to report that it's not just the BARC ratings, it's not just on linear television that CNN News 18 is #1. We are #1 today on YouTube, #1 on Facebook, and #1 on the BARC TRP ratings for linear television. So across platforms, this brand, and I think that is really the fitting message. The brand is trusted. The brand is something that people, like somebody told me last week at Rising India, he said, generally I wait for you guys to break a story because I know that if CNN News 18 is breaking a story, then it has to be right. I mean, it has to be credible. You guys don't just randomly break stories and then retract. So I think that again is a great testimony to the brand. The fact that CNN News 18 is a trusted brand. It is a middle of the road brand. It's a non-partisan brand. And I think viewers are liking it. A large majority of viewers are liking it, consuming it, watching it, and giving us feedback on what we are doing right. I think that is an incredible testimony, and I want to once again thank our viewers for this. You can, as I said, consume CNN News 18 content on linear television, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. We are available across platforms, and I think for us internally, that's going to be the road forward, to become platform agnostic. The brand is omnipotent, it's omnipresent. It is platform agnostic. We're going to be experimenting with artificial intelligence, with augmented reality, with virtual reality. We're going to give you the next level experience of tools that you've already seen and consumed on brand CNN News 18, whether it is Alexa, the quadcopter, the magic wall. We're going to give the most user-friendly, the most consumer-friendly experience of all of these tools and all of these experiences that we're bringing together here on CNN News 18. And I can't be more excited about the next 50 weeks, just as I was about these past 50 weeks. So once again, thank you to our viewers. We will continue to plow on like this, bring you middle of the road, sober, sane, non-partisan news. And we hope that you continue supporting us like you have over the last 50 weeks. Thank you once again to all the viewers across India and around the world who have helped and trusted this brand and this channel across platforms. Thank you once again on behalf of this young team here at CNN News 18, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for your love and support.
This is a big announcement for us right here on CNN News 18. A historic feat for our channel, a historic week for our channel, as 50 weeks of news dominance with CNN News 18. Our channel has, as you can see, maintained the lead for 50 weeks at #1.
Thank you very much, for starters, to all our viewers, because this is an incredible achievement in the history of Indian news television. No channel has had this kind of a run for 50 weeks. In cricketing terms, it's a half century. It's almost a year. It's 2 weeks short of a year since CNN News 18, your channel, became #1. We want to thank all our viewers, because I don't think we could have achieved this without your support, your love, and your commitment to the kind of journalism, the kind of news stories that we put out there. I think this is an incredible testament to the fact that there is a large audience out there that wants sane, sober, middle-of-the-road news without any shouting, without any chest thumping, without any hyperventilation. And I think the fact that CNN News 18 has been #1 now for the last 50 weeks is actually a salute, is actually a testament to all of those viewers who are not wanting to move to the partisan extremes, as it were. They are happy to get good old
Back on the right stand with right stand exclusive on a seizure, ladies and gentlemen, an interception of perhaps what has been the biggest explosive seizures in Bengal, but it seems to have escaped a lot of people's notice. Let's get to that. Now, this happened in June 2022, nearly 11 months ago, after one of the biggest explosive seizures in the state of Bengal. The NIA now has arrested 2 more explosive suppliers in this entire case. The NIA has arrested 2 accused from Raniganj and Kolkata, who have been identified as Mirazuddin Ali Khan of Bokaro and Mir Mohammad Nuruzzaman of Birbhum. Now, while Mir Mohammad Nuruzzaman had supplied 27,000 kilograms of ammonium nitrate to Rintu SK, Mirazuddin Ali Khan now had supplied electric detonators and gelatine sticks to yet another accused. The NIA is now further conducting investigations to establish the sources of pilferage of the explosives and other bomb-making materials, including detonators and gelatine sticks, and this is an ongoing investigation 11 months after that seizure. Now, let us remind you what was recovered by the STF. The Special Task Force in June 2022, they had recovered 81,000 detonators, 27,000 kilograms of ammonium nitrate, 1,625 kilograms of gelatine sticks, 2,325 electric detonators. Now, security analyst Major Surendra Punia and Major Manik M. Jali, security and geopolitical analysts, are with us. Namaste and Jai Hind, gentlemen. आप लोगों ने, you have pointed this out. Or it is shocking to me also that people did not realize the impact of what we are seeing and what has perhaps been intercepted or stopped. So, Surendra Punia ji, I want to start with you. 27,000 kilogram ammonium nitrate क्या ये कंस्ट्रक्शन के लिए यूज हो रहा था, किस चीज के लिए यूज हो सकता है? 81,000 डेटोनेटर्स।
नरसिम्हन, सबसे पहले मैं आपको पर्सनली और आपके चैनल को बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहूँगा कि आपने इतना बड़ा नेशनल सिक्योरिटी का इशू आपने जिंदा रखा। बाकी जो मीडिया है वो ऐसे मुद्दों पे जहां देश की सुरक्षा सबसे ऊपर है उसको लोग भूल गए हैं, शायद दूसरी चीज़ों में डिस्कशन हो रहा है। और ये इतना बड़ा मुद्दा है, और जो मैंने कल ट्वीट किया था उस पर जोरी सर ने उसके ऊपर लिखा था, और जिस ढंग से सर ने एक्सप्लेन किया था, आपको पता है कि 27,000 kg अमोनियम नाइट्रेट का मतलब है 11,000 TNT, और 11,000 TNT का मतलब है 8,000 किलो RDX। मतलब पुलवामा में सिर्फ 80 किलो से भी कम में ही मतलब वो इतना बड़ा ब्लास्ट हो गया था। तो इतने में कितने बड़े लेवल के ऊपर धमाके किए जा सकते हैं, मतलब पूरे बंगाल को फूंका जा सकता है। और ये तो नरसिम्हन सिर्फ मिला है, जो पकड़ा गया है, जो NIA की टीम ने पकड़ा है। और आपको पता भी होगा कि NIA की टीम कितनी छोटी है। अगर आप नेशनल लेवल पे देखें तो पुलिस की संख्या में उनके पास बहुत कम रिसोर्सेज हैं
जी।
अब ऐसा लग रहा है कि NIA को कम से कम 20,000 सोल्जर्स या ऑफिसर्स की जरूरत होगी, जो पूरे देश के अंदर जो नेक्सस बन गया है, जो जिहादी और जो अल्ट्रा लिबरल जो लेफ्टिस्ट हैं, जो चाइना के साथ, पाकिस्तान के साथ और फॉरेन एजेंसी जो हिंदुस्तान को डिस्टेबलाइज करने की पूरी कोशिश कर रहे हैं, वो बर्दाश्त नहीं कर सकते कि ये देश इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट के उस रास्ते पे निकल पड़ा है जहां पे चाइना, US, UK, फ्रांस, जर्मनी, इटली, जापान सबको चुनौती दे रहा है। और ये लोगों को डाइजेस्ट नहीं हो रहा है। और इस देश में कुछ जगह हमारे कुछ लूप होल्स हैं, जो एक सेकुलरिज्म नाम का जो कीड़ा है, ये इतना बड़ा हो चुका है आनंद, ये इस देश को एक दिन फिर तोड़ के मानेगा बंगाल में। और ऊपर से आपने एक चीज मैं और बोलूंगा, फिर आप सबके पास जाइएगा, कि मुझे शर्म आती है कि इस देश में इस टाइप के चीफ मिनिस्टर हैं। सिटिंग CM बंगाल के ममता बनर्जी ये कह रही हैं कि ये लोग, और RJD के MLA कह रहे हैं कि इन लोगों को बम इसलिए बनाने पड़ रहे हैं अपनी आत्मरक्षा के लिए। भाई साहब, इस देश में 26 करोड़ मुस्लिम लोग हैं, किसी की जान को कुछ हुआ है क्या? कल को फिर ये होते, और ऊपर से ये भी कह रहे हैं कि उनके एरिया में आप किस लिए जाते हो। भाई किसका एरिया? ये देश तो पूरे 150 करोड़ लोगों का है। कल को फिर हमें ये कहेंगे कि अगर मुस्लिम एरिया में जाना है तो अपना सिर घर पे रख के चले जाइए, अपना हाथ घर पे रख के चले जाइए। क्या हो रहा है देश के अंदर?
देखिए, आपने पॉलिटिकल कवर फायर
गुलदस्ता बनाने के लिए थोड़ा ना तैयार किए जा रहे थे।
पॉलिटिकल कवर फायर की भी आप बात कर रहे हैं मेजर पूनिया, बट आई वांट टू गो टू मेजर मानिक जॉली एंड अंडरस्टैंड हाउ can such small suppliers, how can they get so much of ammunition in or so much of chemicals in which can be used for making explosives? Is this necessarily a terror nexus, or could this be for mining, for construction? Because a lot of people say gelatin is used for mining, for construction. Why are you making such a big deal about it? Why is it a big deal? I'm just trying to play the counter or the devil's advocate here to say there are others who are saying it's not established. How do we know they are part of any terror network? How do we know that they were going to use this for disrupting society or for orchestrating, massive or series of serial blasts or terror attacks? Major Jolly, thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Anand, for inviting me to your show. And thing is, it is definitely unlawful activity, because anything that it can be so ammonium nitrate can be used for a lot of reasons, but wherever it would be used for legal activities, it would be under some inventory, registered under some company. It would be lying in their warehouses. So NIA won't have to raid and capture it with the help of local police and all. So this was out of that scope, and hence because the recovery was made. The most important thing, and yes, yesterday I tweeted some of the mathematics of it, that the amount of ammonium nitrate caused is more or less in such a large quantity, the way we saw in Beirut when it exploded and it caused an earthquake to the size of 3 to 4 Richter scale, and because it is being caught with 81,000 detonators, it means there is a scope of it being turned into small country bombs, pipe bombs, IEDs and all. And if you break down, as Punia sir brought out, that this is actually almost 8,000 RDX explosion capability, and Pulwama was only 80 kgs. So, if you break them down into smaller pieces of bombs and place them all around the countryside, you can have actually a state police running helter-skelter just to figure out what is happening. It is not the quantum of casualties that these small bombs cause, it's the chaos they cause in the system. And that is, I think, the bigger intention here, apart from the casualties it caused. And as far as, getting them into the system is concerned, we've seen for a couple of years, Bengal is turning into a place which is, a cesspool of lawlessness and crime and political vendetta, the post-election violence and all that. We've seen it all. So this is the time actually government should start taking it seriously. And if I won't go to the extent of saying, because I'm not the authority on that the state government is complicit, but they're definitely complicit about it. And it is still part of country. I mean, you are seeing another Kashmir getting turned into. So why doesn't the government step in and take control of the situation?
Right, now we've got a media report, and although News 18 has not yet confirmed this, I'm just citing media. It's a media report and it's out there saying that one of the two people detained has been identified as Mir Mohammad Nuruzzaman, who the NIA alleges worked as a contract worker in the IT department of West Bengal's Education Ministry in Bikash Bhavan. Now, there is no need to draw linkages for anything, because people can work anywhere and they can be doing something, and he was a contract worker, he was not even directly involved. But these people are getting into places where they have connect. It also shows that they are highly educated and highly informed. They know exactly what they are doing. So this threat, this danger is very clear and present. Major Johnny, final word. I have limited time. Yes.
Yeah, so the final word is, as I mean, you can say the Nexus has gone deep into, it's very well trenched in, where it doesn't matter where you are working or what you're doing. The connection is so solid that they've been able to amass such high level of explosives. And it means they are very well connected to the people who are supplying it. This could very well be cross-border, like all other troubled states that we have, Northeast Kashmir, when we had in Punjab. This is a border state too, and it has pretty porous border. Bangladesh and things can easily come out from Myanmar also. So that cannot be ruled out, but I would just like to fortify on the fact that you said that there is no linkage with somebody working in IT department and having 27,000 kgs of ammonium nitrate. This is definitely a plan for something much bigger, and I do hope that government pays much attention to it before it goes out of hand. Thank you.
Final 30 seconds, Major Punia. क्या जिस तरह से साक्ष्य सामने आ रहे हैं वो पॉइंट करते हैं कि ये तार कहीं ना कहीं जुड़ रहे हैं उन ताकतों से जो कि कुछ बड़ा प्लान कर रहे हैं?
आनंद, इसके सिर्फ दो ही मकसद हैं जी। पश्चिम बंगाल या केरल हिंदुस्तान का जो अगला कश्मीर बनने वाला है, वो प्रोसीजर शुरू हो चुका है। वो आप खुद भी देख रहे हैं कि 1920 में जिन्ना ने एक नारा लगाया था कि कराची और लाहौर के अंदर से हिंदू जगह खाली कर दें, रामनवमी नहीं होगी, दशहरा नहीं होगा, दुर्गा पूजा नहीं होगी, सरस्वती पूजा नहीं होगी, और ठीक 27 साल बाद में पाकिस्तान बन गया। आज बंगाल में और केरल में बिल्कुल ठीक वही हो रहा है, और इनका मकसद सिर्फ ये था कि जो वहां पे गरीब, जो मतलब मजदूर किस्म के जो हिंदू हैं या बहुत गरीब हैं, जिनके पास पैसा नहीं है, वो जो रोजी रोटी के लिए लड़ रहे हैं, कि उनको इतना डराओ धमकाओ कि वो जगह खाली कर दें और उसके ऊपर इन लोगों का कब्जा हो जाए, और पूरा लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, गरीब आदमी कब तक रोटी के लिए लड़े या पुलिस के पास जाए। और पुलिस, ममता सरकार खुद वो गृह मंत्री हैं, जबकि वो खुद अपने मुंह से बोल रही हैं कि आप रामनवमी का जुलूस मुस्लिम इलाकों में से क्यों लेके जाते हैं? भैया, सड़क सबकी है। अरे आप आनंद, मैं 1 मिनट लूंगा आपका प्लीज, ये बहुत जरूरी है। एक चीज बताइए आप, ये पूरे देश को सोचना होगा कि कभी ईद पे कभी दंगे हुए नहीं, कभी बकरीद पे हुए नहीं, कभी मुहर्रम पे हुए नहीं, कभी पुलिस लगी नहीं। सभी एरिया में से जाइए, हिंदुओं के, सिखों के, क्रिश्चियन, सभी में जाइए। लेकिन इस देश में बहुसंख्यक हिंदू हैं, उनके त्योहार पे पुलिस लगती है, जाब्ता लगता है, परमिशन नहीं मिलती है, हमला होता है। क्यों हो रहा है? ये बहुत बड़ा सवाल है। ये आप लोगों को उठाना होगा।
देखिए, ये प्रश्न देखिए, लेफ्ट टू देमसेल्व्स, अगर आप सब पे छोड़ दें, अगर आप समाज को छोड़ दें, तो समाज सब कुछ अपने आप होने भी दे सकता है। देखिए, बॉम्ब कभी किसी के इसको देखकर नहीं देखता। गरीब होता है, जान सबकी जाती है। जब जाता है, जब जान लेने जाता है तो वो सबके लेता है, वो दीन धर्म देखकर नहीं लेता। it'll kill innocents, it'll kill people across the board. People who are resorting to this, what their machinations are, we've got to get to the bottom of that and we've got to weed that out of society. ये करना, ये मैं इसीलिए आप दोनों को इसीलिए आपसे बात कर रहा हूँ, because this has to come to the front. It has to come into consciousness and we've got to actively start countering this. Thank you very much. मेरे पास समय अल्प है इसीलिए, but we look forward to more conversations. Thank you very much, Major Punia and also Major Jolly. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Quickly moving on, ladies and gentlemen, the probe in the Kozhikode train fire widens a day after police nabbed Shah Saifi and the prime accused in the train attack. He's been brought into Kozhikode where he was interrogated by the Kerala police. Presently, he's been admitted in a police cell. Meanwhile, News 18 has details of this entire case. We have accessed handwritten notes of Shah Saifi which have been recovered from the spot of fire from his bag. The handwritten notes that you see on the screen has words like kufr, which means kafir, and maghloom, which means oppressed. Now, sources tell CNN News 18 that the authorities are also probing if there is a terror angle to this entire case. Agency sources are telling that the probe suggests it was an act of terror. This is what agencies are saying. Accused Shah Saifi had 6 phones, confessed to buying inflammable liquid, admits that he was asked to set people on fire. He's saying was asked to set people on fire. But how was Shah Saifi actually traced? The ATS and central agencies zeroed down on Shah Saifi with the help of a phone. Top sources tell CNN News 18 that a diary and a phone were recovered from the spot of the fire. The phone recovered was without SIM, and on the basis of the IMEI, it was traced to Shaheen Bagh, where the cops contacted the family and they were told that their son was missing and they had registered a report regarding the same as well. Sources say that 6 of Shah Saifi's phones were put together on surveillance after meeting his family. Sources say one of the phones got switched on around 1:30 a.m. and the Maharashtra ATS was informed about the location. After being alerted, the local police team immediately rushed to the Ratnagiri hospital. Upon reaching the hospital, cops were informed that a man with injuries had come but later ran away. A manhunt was launched and the whole area was combed, searched. Shah Saifi was found at the Ratnagiri station. The accused Shah Saifi was arrested in a joint operation around 1:30 a.m. Saifi will be handed over to the Kerala police after completing formalities. Kerala police will be seeking transit remand from the local magistrate and they will take him to Kozhikode where they've actually taken him there and now they are questioning him and he's saying he was asked to set the train on fire. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen. To Pakistan, where trouble continues in the neighbourhood, with Pakistan Supreme Court announcing to hold provincial elections in Punjab on the 14th of May. The government is looking at ways to delay the polls. Sources tell News 18 that Pakistan Democratic Movement may challenge the order by exercising their right to file a review in the Supreme Court or confront the Supreme Court by judicial references and by legislation in Parliament. The PDM leaders have decided to submit reference against Chief Justice of Pakistan and 2 other Supreme Court judges, which include the Chief CJP Umar Ata Bandial, Justice Muneeb Akhtar, the Justice Izaul Hassan in the Supreme Court Judicial Council, the 3-member bench which nullified the Election Commission of Pakistan's decision to postpone the Punjab elections. The decision was taken during a meeting of leaders of all coalition parties chaired by Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif in Islamabad. Sources further said that the meeting also decided to ratify federal cabinet rejection of the Supreme Court's verdict by the Parliament. So the executive versus judiciary is clearly standing out there. Pakistan heading towards a national emergency. We'll keep close watch on that. With that, we call it a wrap on this edition of The Right Stand. Brass Tacks with Zaka right now. Stay with us.
Good evening, this is Brass Tacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. The Parliament session has finally come to an end. Only one bill was passed in this entire session. The lower house functioned for less than a fifth of its allocated time, and the upper house functioned for less than a tenth of its allocated time. The question then is, why are we, the taxpayers, being fleeced because politicians cannot see eye to eye? The total amount of money that's been wasted in just this one session of Parliament is over 150 crores. The Congress wants Rahul Gandhi's disqualification quashed. The BJP wants Rahul Gandhi to apologize because of the comments that he made abroad. And caught in between these two political affiliations and these two political extremes are we, the people of India.
Sloganeering, chants, rockets.